What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're inching closer and closer to the NFL draft, where it starts, of course, on Thursday. So we're back here with another draft rebuild. And today we're doing the Denver Broncos, where in this rebuild we're going to draft Omarion Hampton to add to the backfield to support Bo Nix back there, because the running back position right now isn't in the best spot. So I would imagine with how good this running back draft class is, the Broncos will be taking a running back. Will it be a first rounder? That's what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and jump in and do this Omarion Hampton Denver Broncos rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me 85% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in the 85%, want to change that as we're on the road to 10,000 subs, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's, of course, talk about what the Broncos did this offseason before we jump into the draft. They didn't do like a ton, but they had some really impactful signings, obviously. So they bring in Evan Ingram off the Jaguars, who released him once they brought in a new GM in Jacksonville. Obviously, that was about it on offense for the most part. And then the defensive side of the football, they added Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga, which was just obviously nice additions to add to the defense. Two guys that I really wanted my commander, or Hufanga not as much, but I really wanted Dre Greenlaw on the Commanders. But the Broncos did a damn good job, in my opinion, this offseason, adding more talent around their rookie quarterback. Well, he's not a rookie anymore, obviously, but Bo Nix. So we're about to jump in this draft. We're going to give him more help. Obviously, I think we should probably draft a wide receiver as well, which is definitely a possibility in round one for the Broncos. If, like, you have Ibuka on the board or whoever it may be. But we're going to take Hampton because our running back right now is Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime. They lost Jaleel McLaughlin, or sorry, lost Javonte Williams, which I think it was time to move on anyway. Javonte Williams was very inconsistent. He was good early on, and then he got injured and just really wasn't the same since and was very inconsistent anyway. Let's go to the 20th overall pick, and we have to presume he'll still be on the board, but maybe he got taken already, but it doesn't look like he did. So, fun enough, all the wide receivers that maybe you could take in round one, the top three anyway. Well, I guess there's Matthew Golden still on the board too, but you have Ted McMillan going, Luther Burden going, and Ibuka goes as well, but you could take Matthew Golden here. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and take that running back round one, and we're going to add Omarion Hampton to help Bo Nix have himself a damn good running back in the backfield. So welcome to Denver, Omarion Hampton. This should be a fun rebuild with him. So that's going to be a nice start. 30 in true value, drafting to 20, but obviously is going to give us some stability at the running back position. So let's go to round two. Maybe we look at wide receiver here if there's like a Jaden Higgins or maybe Matthew Golden falls to round two for whatever reason. If Matthew Golden is still on the board, which I didn't, look at the end of round one, but I'm not seeing his name right now. So if he's still available in round two, we're jumping on it. So let's see if he is. There is Isaiah Bond as well. But let's see what else we got. We have Isaiah Bond. Looks like Matthew Golden may have been taken maybe late round one. You have Restrepo, Beck, Torrey Horton, Taj Felton, Jaden Higgins. So a lot of good options here, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and take... We could take Ellick or we could take Restrepo. We obviously could take, if he's still here, Tez Johnson, which is obviously the Oregon wide receiver, which is technically Bo Nix's like adopted brother, I think, or something along the lines of that. We also could take an offensive lineman as well if we wanted to go that route, or we could take a corner. So a lot of good options we can go with here. Henderson, Stutzman. We have Denzel Burke on the board as well to add another corner next to Surtain and obviously Riley Moss. I actually don't hate the idea of potentially taking a corner here, so I'm going to go ahead and take Denzel Burke here in round two. I'm going to see if Jaden Higgins falls to round three, and I think I'll jump him or take him in round three if he's there, and that will be our draft. So let's go see. Benjamin Morrison just got selected as well by the Bucks, or we would have taken him for sure. All right, pick 84. Let's see if one of those wide receivers, so Alec goes. If Jaden Higgins is still here, I'm going to go ahead and take him. So yeah, Dylan Sampson, Jackson Dart, Ollie Gordon, Cornelius, Marshall, Stool. But as I said, if Jaden Higgins is here, which I'm not sure he is, but he is. So we're going to take Jaden Higgins round three, and he's going to be our brand new wide receiver added next to Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims. So that will be our draft. Not a bad one at all. 125 true value, drafted number 80 or 84, whatever it was. What was it? 84. So not bad. So let's go take a look at the lineup going into year number one with Hampton added to this team, and I can't wait to kind of see what we do. The last time we did a Denver Broncos rebuild, I remember the simulation being absolutely wild. Let's go see if it works out that way again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup going into year number 1. So this is what it's going to look like. So they want to put McLaughlin over Hampton, but of course we're going to start Hampton right out of the gate. So Bo Nix, of course, remains under center. So we have Bo Nix, we have Hampton, we have Cortland Sutton, we have Marvin Mims. There's like Troy Franklin and Valet to be excited about, but I'm going to go and throw Jaden Higgins at wide receiver 2 out of the gate because I want him to play right away. I assume Mims will still be in the slot. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Obviously, Evan Ingram, and you still have Garrett Bowles and Miners and McGlinchey. So really decent solid O-line. Maybe the center and the left guard position can be upgraded a little bit, but not too shabby. Defensively, you obviously have Jones, Jonathan Cooper, Trey Greenlaw, Nick Bonito, Hufanga. We added Denzel Burke to the team, so he could be our third corner as well. So I'm going to move him up. Yeah, Franklin Myers, Zach Allen. So a lot to be excited about here. Our defensive scheme fits 100%, so we're going to leave that the way it is. Offensively, we're 72%. And then slot wide receiver is actually Valet, but I prefer if that was Marvin Mims. In the slot corner, we're going to move this to Denzel Burke. But I'm going to make Marvin Mims the slot wide receiver, and I will see you guys at the end of year 1. And I can't wait to see how this goes. So at the end of season 1, we finished up at 8-9 and do not make the playoffs, which is obviously a little disappointing. But let's go take a look at the player stats to kind of see where we potentially went wrong. So offensively, we're top 10, which is good. So we aren't worried about the offense. Defensively, we were 20th, so not too shabby. But yeah, 32 and 14 from Bo Nix. Yeah, 12 touchdowns, 1,100 yards from Hampton as a rookie, which is great. Sutton was really good. Marvin Mims was good, and Jaden Higgins was solid. So really solid stuff there. Sacks wise, you know, we got our defense involved by getting to the quarterback with Nick Bonito, 12 from Zach Allen. So all solid stuff there. So unfortunately, we just took a step back. Maybe it's because we had a tougher schedule for making the playoffs last year. I'm not 100% sure, but we're not going to overreact to anything. I think this season just didn't go our way, basically. 8-9. You maybe take 2 games in the other direction. We probably are in the playoffs, and then it's a whole different conversation. But unfortunately, 8-9 is where we lie. So we're going to have to just build on that and see what we could do to add. And we have $144 million to add to whatever we need to add to this team. So obviously, there's probably going to be some re-signs to be worrying about. So let's go take a look at that first and foremost. So we have Nick Bonito, who, you know, no doubt is going to be brought back to this team. Obviously, phenomenal defensive player for the Broncos. Evan Ingram signed a long-term deal in Denver. I'd like to keep him, and he is going to stick around, so let's do that. Zach Allen, who just had a really good season for us, only 29 years old. Yes, sign me up to keep him as well. So a lot of the re-signs are happening right now, obviously. Sutton is 30 years old, so it'll be interesting to see what we want to do with him. Same thing with Franklin Myers, though. He's still young enough to where I'd keep him for another 3 years, so we'll do that. And then what else we got? After that, not much else. So I am going to go ahead and let Sutton walk just in case there's a better wide receiver option in free agency. I know Sutton's a long-time Bronco, but at 30 years old, only an 82 overall. I'm going to see if we can maybe get something a little bit better, basically. So let's go take a look at the lineup to see if any dev traits went up. I assume Hampton might be a superstar, which would be nice. So let's see if he is or if he's just a star. He is, in fact, superstar dev, which is great. So that obviously helps out our offense a ton. So offensive line needs help. Jaden Higgins is an 80 or 76 overall. So we still need a wide receiver 1, basically. So Marvin Mims, Jaden Higgins, like good wide receivers. But if we can add a wide receiver 1 to this team, that would be ideal. Sutton was that for us. But if we can even get better there, obviously that helps out a ton. Defensively, Sanders going to step up that starting middle linebacker spot, which is fine. Riley Moss, Denzel Burke, Surtain still looks good. Our D tackle definitely needs some work, so that's probably going to be going with there. Jonathan Cooper, our rusher. Okay, so he's only 28 years old. I think the last time I did a Broncos rebuild, I didn't have him on the team for some reason, so I'm glad I was able to make up for that this time. So defensively, I think the only thing I truly look at here that I would value is a D tackle upgrade, because obviously Jones has gone down quite a bit, and they just gave him a 3-year deal as well. But I'm excited to let Sanders start this year, see what he can do. So I guess D tackle is the only thing I'd be worried about on the defense. So let's go focus on the offense in free agency with a guard and a center, because that's kind of our biggest needs, obviously, and a wide receiver 1. So we got Joe Tooney, we got Ronnie Stanley, Stephon Diggs is here. So I guess he didn't stick around and he signed with the Patriots. But I mean, in this file, he obviously didn't sign with the Patriots because for many, you guys know why. But let's go ahead and Ekwonu could be interested to move into left guard if we went for him. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ekwonu a deal because he's only 25 years old. So if we can get him added to this team, he has a little bit of interest coming here. So let's see what is in. Okay, so where's number 1 offer right now? That would be awesome. And then let's go look at the center position now. The center, we have Ryan Kelly, Connor McGovern, Luke Wattenberg, who we could just bring back. I didn't show interest in bringing him back, but I guess I'm going to go Connor McGovern, though, who's only 20 years old. So I'm going to give him a deal. And then do I go for Stephon Diggs or do I do something different? Do we trade for a wide receiver? Because that would obviously be the most ideal thing we could do. Shakir signed a long-term deal because technically Diggs shouldn't be here. Shakir shouldn't be here. We could bring back Sutton as well. But again, I'm more than interested in actually. We could bring in DJ Reader to be our D tackle starter as well if we wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and give DJ Reader a 2-year deal. But that doesn't take me out of the idea of potentially drafting one as well. So I'm going to do this. We're going to draft, or we're going to sign Iquanu, DJ Reader, and Connor McGovern, hopefully. Let's see if we get these guys to sign. So we'll get Iquanu. They all signed. So we're going to move Iquanu to left guard immediately. And I think I might take a look at the market as far as trading for a wide receiver because I want to get Bo Nix a wide receiver 1, and I feel like we can find that in the trade finder or whatever. Not trade finder necessarily, but just by making a trade, I feel like we could find it. So I'm going to move Iquanu into left guard. That way Garrett Bowles is still the left tackle starter. And we're going to see how that's going to go with that. And I'm going to take a look to see if there's anybody in the trade market we could acquire as far as adding a wide receiver to this team. So as much as I wanted to trade for a wide receiver, I just didn't really see anything that made sense realistically. So we're just going to be drafting our wide receiver. And I don't think a single, well, I guess Harbor went off the board, but only one wide receiver has gone off the board so far. So we should have our pickings at one of the top wide receivers still available. So let's go take a look to see if we have that. So we have Kendrick Law out of Kentucky. So let's see what we got going on here. So we have Carnell Tate, Denzel Boston, Jonte Cook, Zachariah Branch, Kendrick Law. So a lot of interesting options here, but let's go take a look to see who we like the most. C catching, a deep route, speed is good. Obviously, I'm looking for elite speed here, and that's probably what we'll jump on. So let's look at Denzel Boston. A catch traffic, C catching, C deep route, A release. Speed is solid, so nothing fantastic there. Let's keep moving down the board. Jonte Cook out of Washington. Let's look at him. We got A release, B deep route, C catching. Speed is great. Okay. That gives us a little bit closer to what we want. But do we have elite speed anywhere? Zachariah Branch is the next one to look at. So we got D catching. Speed is elite though, so that's something to keep in mind. I don't love that catching's a D, but elite speed gives me some promise. And then there's Kendrick Law and DeAndre Moore. So this will be the last two I look at here. So Kendrick Law, B catching, B deep route, C release. Speed is elite. I think Kendrick Law is probably the pick, which is what we kind of saw earlier anyway. But let me just take a look just in case that's this last guy. And DeAndre Moore out of, I think that said Texas. And we got speed good. So yeah, Kendrick Law will be the pick here to add to this offense. So Kendrick Law, welcome to Denver. Very happy to have you. So he'll hopefully be our new wide receiver 1. 65 in true value, but I mean, if I look at it, he's 97 speed. So I'm really not complaining. That's going to be awesome to have him on this offense. So Kendrick Law should be able to get separation like crazy, just going deep. So let's go ahead and take a look at pick 47. And I'd probably take a D tackle here if I had to guess. Like DJ Hicks is here. We just drafted, or sorry, signed DJ Reader, but DJ Hicks is a very solid addition to what we needed on this defense. So yeah, that was a no-brainer in my opinion. And then we'll go to round 3, and we'll be ready for year number 2, where we could hopefully bounce back from the 8 and 9 debacle we just had. So pick 79, we have Torian York, we got Eugene Wilson. I do think taking an offensive lineman here could make a ton of sense because I just know that Garrett Bowles could retire on us. We have Zach Rice as well. But there may not be any good offensive lineman to take. So we come down the board, we could take Cam Dewberry. But I think I'm going to go ahead and settle on Zach Rice to be our center. We could move him around, of course, as well. But Zach Rice is going to be the pick here in round 3 because I just know offensive lineman could be gone eventually. Hindev, offensive lineman, not going to start right away. But we have starters everywhere on the team. So let's go take a look at the lineup going into year number 2. Hopefully to bounce back from the 8 and 9 season we just had. So here's the lineup going into season number 2. So here's what it actually looks like. So you have Connor McGovern, Iquanu, Garrett Bowles. They also took us another Hindev offensive lineman, which is very helpful. Myers, McGlinchey, Evan Ingram, Jaden Higgins, Kendrick Law is the 75 overall out of the gate. So Mims is technically our wide receiver 1 right now. But what is our slot wide receiver listed as? So I guess we could throw Kendrick Law there, and Mims could be lined up with wide receiver 1. That's fine. Maybe he could do something special there, but Law could be really good right away. Jaden Higgins, Hampton. So yeah, we'll take. Well, it'll be interesting to see how good this offense is. But DJ Hicks, which I'm going to go ahead and start him over Reader. So Reader will just come off the bench, and then we have Burke. We have Drain. So this looks solid enough. So we're going to go ahead and see how it goes. Defensively, scheme fit still feels fine. Offensively, things were pretty good last year, but We'll just move this just in case. 3-4 under seems to be okay. So let's simulate year 2. 8-9 last year. Hopefully to bounce back from that. So hopefully make the playoffs this year with Bo Nix leading the way. Well, we get some deja vu here as we literally once again went 8-9. So that's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure the last time we did a Broncos rebuild, we literally won the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, if I remember correctly. It was something crazy like that. And this has just been totally different from what that was. So very interesting how the Madden simulation works sometimes. It's very inconsistent, as you guys can see. I guess it was consistent in this scenario because we went 8-9 2 years in a row, which is just insane to think about. But we were extremely mid. So we continue to be mid, so that sucks. But let's take a look at the stats. So Hampton was top 3 in rushing. So offensively, Bo Nix continues to be great. And then defensively, we just continued to... Well, we were decent this year, 15 in the NFL. So Hampton was great. Receiving, Kendrick Law was awesome right away. So I think we found our wide receiver 1 with 16 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Yeah, sign me up for that every year. Sacks-wise, you had 11.5, 10, and then 6.5 interceptions, 2. So... I don't know, man. I'm looking to dive straight into this offseason, though, because I'm hungry to get ourselves into the playoffs. But we got to start with the negotiation stage, as always. So Brandon Jones, yes, sign me up, please, because he is our superstar dev free safety, and he will stick around. Nice. Okay, Bo Nix, 5th-year option, which, yeah, that's going to be accepted. Marvin Mims, 25 years old, speedy wide receiver. Obviously, he's made great plays for Denver, so we'll keep him around. Riley Moss, still want to keep him as well if we can. So he'll stick around. And then Drew Sanders, I would love to keep him as a starter who actually went up to 79 overall. Oh, he says new team? What are we talking about? I'm a franchise tag him. 25 years old. A.T. Perry, J.T. Skinner. Okay, so we can leave the rest of these guys to walk, though. Though, I will say, with franchise tagging Drew Sanders, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I was like, I wanted to keep him. He went up to a 79 overall, which is really nice at 25. And our team looks really good. So I don't really know. I guess if I was... We'll see what we could do. But offensively, with Kendrick Law going up to an 85, Garrett Bowles looks like he did retire on us, but thankfully we have someone ready to start there, so we'll go with that. And then Bo Nix. So, like, I don't think I'm going to touch the offense because I like what I'm seeing on offense. Defensively, Nick Bonitto's up to Superstar X Factor, which is awesome. Zach Allen, Superstar Dev. Franklin Myers, Surtain, Denzel Burke, Riley Moss. So, it's all looking really good. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have minded adding another pass rusher opposite of Bonitto to be awesome for us. So if like Aiden Hutchinson sitting here in free agency, could I like restructure a bunch of contracts to get to him? I don't know. We'll have to see. So he's not even sitting here anyway, so that doesn't matter. That's totally irrelevant. So we could sign Laramie Tunsil to replace obviously what we had in Garrett Bowles. So I wouldn't hate doing that. So that way the young guy still, and then we have Overshown as well, but I think I wouldn't mind going for Laramie Tunsil. 33 years old, has no offers right now, but we'd have to free up quite a bit of money to get to him. So we actually probably can only add to the draft now that I think about it. So never mind on anybody in free agency. If Aiden Hutchinson would have been there like he is sometimes, I think I would have considered restructuring so many contracts to give ourselves in position to sign him. But since there wasn't, anybody there that was worth it, I guess there was some guys we could have went after, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather just draft and we'll roll with whatever we draft here because we've been 8-9. We have to imagine that eventually it'll break through. So we're picking at 11, so a little bit of a higher pick this time compared to, I believe it was 15 last year. So almost top 10 as Arch Manning goes to the Raiders. Interesting. Okay, so we have Dan Kovacs out of Ohio State. Don't know much about him. Tevin McCann. We also have Pollard. So Daniel Pollard or Dan looked like some guys that I would love to add, honestly, opposite of Bonitto. So Daniel Pollard, speed solid, A player recognition, A power moves, A pursuit, A hit power. So he looks really solid, but let's take a look at Dan as well. So Dan's got F zone, which we don't care about, B tackle. His speed is good. A awareness. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the other one. I'm going to take Daniel Pollard, though. I'm going to take Daniel Pollard to play opposite of Bonitto, or he'll just be depth, obviously, if he isn't good enough to start right away. There's only normal dev, 80 speed, so that pick sucks right away, which sucks. What can you do, though? Let's go to round 2, and let's see if we can make up for that. So in round 2, Dan Kovacs fell all the way to round 2, by the way, so I guess that would have been maybe a reach if we went for him. I do think I'm going to take Lee Anthony Orchard here, though, because obviously our safety was out the door a little bit, but Orchard could be someone who develops behind him, and then when Brandon Jones is ready to leave, 89 speed, free safety, by the way. When Brandon Jones is ready to leave, we'll have Lee Anthony Orchard waiting in the shadows to take over. All right. Round 3. What do we want here? So we got another safety. We got wide receivers. And then we got a corner. I do think I'm going to take another corner, though. Michael Millard. Do you have elite speed? No. So never mind. He looks horrible. I'm not taking him. So that would have been something I would have considered. We have wide receivers for days, and we have strong safeties. McLean is another speed rusher out of Georgia. Deep pursuit. Speed is solid. Screw it. Give us another linebacker for depth. He's going to be 155 in true value, 81 speed, but we'll be depth at the very least. All right. Let's get into the lineup for year 3. Although, actually, I probably won't even show it to you because it's literally the same thing as last year. We didn't really do anything to add to this team. So let's go take a look. Let's go simulate the number 3. Let's hopefully make the playoffs this time because I'm dying to. At the end of this season, we finally don't go 18-9. We actually went 13-4, and it looks like we may have gotten the bye unless we missed the playoffs at 13-4, which would be pretty funny. But we do get the bye. 13-4, have the bye in the AFC, so we don't even have to play in Wild Card Weekend, which is awesome. Let's go take a look at the stats. So offensively, top 10, which 7th offense, which is great. And then defensively, hopefully we're top something. Yeah, top 10 as well. So 9th and 7th on both sides of the ball. Really can't complain about that. Bo Nix has been awesome in this video. Like throughout it, he's been really good. Interceptions to touchdown ratio has been awesome every time. Hampton's been a great addition. Obviously, a 1,000-yard rusher every year for us. Receiving-wise, you had Marvin Mims was great. Kendrick Law was good again, and Jaden Higgins was great. So, obviously, we pretty much drafted our wide receiver duo next to Marvin Mims, which has been nice. And then sacks-wise, you had 13.5 from Nick Bonito, 13 from DJ Hicks. Wow, our rookie from last year. 11 from Zach Allen, 5.5 from Cooper, 3.5 from Sanders, and 3 from John Franklin Myers. So not too shabby. And here are your interceptions. Didn't look like we caused too many interceptions, but we'll take it still. So let's get to divisional round. Let's see who we're going to be facing up against, because obviously we don't have to play Wild Card Weekend. So it will be the Tennessee Titans. So we get to deal with Cam Ward and the Titans. Let's go ahead, jump in, and play them. Let's see if we can't win our first playoff game. I guess this will be Bo Nix's second playoff game, but this is our first playoff game of the video, so hopefully you can start off strong. So in this divisional round, Cam Ward comes to Denver, so let's see how this is about to go as we get a stop to start things off, and our offense goes out there, does nothing though. They miss a 46-yard field goal. Austin Cyber, where have I seen that before? Missing field goals or extra points. We remember that, and I will never let that go in my head. But it's 0-0 so far, so both defenses are playing a static. Who is going to score first, though, is the question. Will it be us? And we will. 7-0. But Tennessee finally gets some points as well. And we will kick the game winning. Oh, no, it's 10-10 in overtime. And it looks like they missed out on scoring. So all we need to do. Wow, we're on our 1, though. Damn. Well, thankfully, we have a good back. But all we need to do is score. And we win the game. We just need a field goal. Oh, my goodness. This could go well or it could go very wrong. There's no in between. I'm just going to get. Oh, my goodness. Oh, imagine the corner held the block up there. But Hampton's having a great day on the ground right now. So we can maybe just ride him out to this. I'm going to go left. Oh, nice spin move, but it went the wrong way. 2nd 11, 77 rushing yards. Okay. Well, it's all good. Let's play action them because we've had some success running the football. So let's see if they're ready for this play action I'm about to pull on them. So we're going to throw Marvin Mims on a go. And we're going to see if they're ready for this little play action I got for them. I'm gonna go Marvin Mims over the top. Mims, no, not quite. Okay, so 21 makes the play. I think that is that Snead. I can't tell. It's Roger McCreary. Ooh, out to him. It's actually 3rd and 11 now, so we got to be very careful for what we do here because we need a first down really badly. All right, well, let's see if we can't pick it up. See if Everett Ingram gets open in the middle. He is wide open in the middle, so let's just possession this. Pick up the first down. That was a huge first down because if we would have gotten sacked there, have to punt it, and then we're giving the Tennessee Titans a chance to win the game, obviously. We're going to go same play. I'm going to have Marvin Mims over the middle. We're going to get that going up there. Nice spin move to gain extra yards, and we're in field goal range already. So let's just start handing this. Actually, we're in 5 wide right now, so I can't even hand it off yet. All right, well, eventually we're going to hand this off once I get out of no huddle. So let's just go underneath to, that was kind of a dangerous throw, but gives us 7 yards, so we'll take it. Okay, let's now start to run the football because we are in field goal range. Let's just give Hampton the honor to put us as close as possible, and hopefully we could just get a touchdown and win in divisional weekend. So let's just keep going to him. We pick up the first down there. It's a minute 30 left on the clock, and they are going to get a nice almost TFL there, so that didn't work out. Do we zone toss this to see what happens? Yeah, let's do a toss play, see what they do with it. Okay, so I'm gonna just go up the middle here. Nice gain for 7. We'll take it. Did Tennessee just call it? No, they didn't. Okay, so now we'll just mid-draw this and see what they do with it. And that'll give us probably the go to go. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's 4th and 1. We'll call our timeout and we'll kick our field goal to hopefully... What was wrong with our coach, by the way? Why is that a glitch in Madden? Did you just see his eyes? That was weird looking. It might even show it in the celebration, but we're obviously going to go... Why is it telling me, oh, now that they called a timeout, you probably shouldn't kick a field goal anymore? Okay, I see my meter. As long as we don't mess this up, we're gonna win the game. Oh, I thought we messed that up for a second. Nope, we're gonna win in divisional weekend. We're moving on to the AFC Championship. I have to see if my coach still looks like that, though, by the way, because that was scary looking. And yeah, look at him. What is wrong with his face? Why is Madden like that? It looks like he has like sea urchins growing out of his eyes or something. I don't know. Let's move on to AFC Championship, though. And now for the AFC Championship game, as it's going to only get tougher from here, as it is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The last time Bo Nix played the Ravens, it was not pretty. So hopefully we can bounce back from that. And we will start off with a 7-0 lead. So great start. And the Ravens will kick a field goal. So now it's 7-3. We need to put up more points here because the Ravens will only get back in it 10-3. And the Ravens will tie at 10-10. Can we score again? Yes, 17-10, but the Ravens will kick another field goal. 4 minutes left. If we score here, we put the game away probably, and we do just that, 24-16, but I don't think the Ravens have any chance of getting back in this game because there's not enough time. So we're going to beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship 24-16. So we punched our ticket to the Super Bowl. So let's go see who's in front of us in the Super Bowl, shall we? So here we are in the Super Bowl, and we're playing the usual suspect, the Philadelphia Eagles. So Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who always make it here as we start off with the ball, and we don't do anything with it, but they don't do anything either with their possession. And we will look like we're about to score there, but we don't. We will score here, though, 7-0. So our defense has been playing great so far, but so has theirs. 7-0, but still not comfortable with this lead, obviously. The Eagles will tie it. It's 7-7 here in the 4th. Can we go score? A minute 50 left on the clock. All we need to do is get in field goal range and drain this clock, and we'll have a chance to win this game. So let me see if I can make that happen for us, shall we? So I'm going to start off with, maybe we could just hand this rock to Hampton down the field and have a chance. Okay, so not going to gain a lot there. Only 33 yards on the day for him, so he's been getting clamped up for the most part, it looks like. All right, we're going to throw Mims on a go route and see what they do with that. I'm going to have to scramble this. And Ingram is going to make the great play and break the tackle. I was hoping to turn upfield. Man, they brought pressure off of that left side. I saw it immediately, and thankfully I was able to get rid of that. So we're closer to field goal range, which is awesome. Let's see if they decide to do it again. Nope, they're not bringing it this time. I'm honestly really glad I got hit. I don't think I ever should have threw that ball to where I was throwing it. I was kind of looking for Hampton to get underneath, and he just got stuck. Notice that happens quite a lot, obviously. Gonna have to just take the underneath here with Evan Ingram, and that's gonna get a first down and more. So we are well in field goal range, and the Eagles are gonna start burning those timeouts. So now let's start giving this ball to Hampton, and we could potentially just drain this clock and allow the Eagles to burn those timeouts. We won't get iced either. So they're gonna call another timeout, 2nd and 8. We could kick a clean field goal here in just a second, as long as we allow the Eagles to burn another timeout. So gonna run the ball here again. Bounce off our offensive lineman. They burned that last time out, 3rd and 4. So a minute left on the clock. All we need to do is drain this clock, and we will have a chance to win the game and a walk-off field goal. So 7-7. This was a defensive battle, which is what you'd probably expect, and we will get stopped here. So we're going to have to take this all the way down. So we are going to give the Eagles a little bit of time, which does suck, but it is what it is. So let's see. Let's take this all the way down, and we'll kick a field goal with... I'm very scared about giving the Eagles 30 seconds or whatever it may be, because they obviously could easily make it happen. So let's just kick this field goal, though. There's going to be 20 seconds left for them. Hopefully our defense, which has been playing great all day, can get a stop. Let's see what happens. And they stopped them. All right, we're going to win the Super Bowl 10-7. So very low scoring and an ugly game. I'm sure if that was our Super Bowl one year, America would probably hate it because most Americans, I don't think, appreciate low scoring games, but I do. I do for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's still something very wrong with our coach, but at the end of the day, a Super Bowl has been won. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.